Hey guys, welcome to the Simplify Your Life podcast. It's Coach Simona, and I'm glad you decided to tune in. What's up, everyone? In today's podcast episode, we're going to talk about how to get out of your head and into your body. And I will share with you my favorite techniques when it comes to being grounded in the present moment. Now let's jump right into it. Alright guys, it's been 3 weeks, so I'm very excited to get back to recording these podcast episodes for you. Before I share my first tip on how to get out of your head and into your body, I want to take a brief second to let you know what's been going on in my life lately. Nothing dramatic, nothing bad, just some things I've realized about building a successful business and managing to stay grounded in reality while going after your goals. Truth is, I came to the conclusion that if I don't take regular breaks in my day-to-day life, I will burn out again, and I won't be able to help my clients the best way that I can, plus I won't be able to put out high-quality content. So I remember the quote that I really want to share with you, because some of you out there may need to hear it today. You can't pour from an empty cup. That's it. It's super simple. But I realized that it's very easy to get swept by all the daily to-dos and forget how to slow down, relax, and enjoy life. I've come to the realization that doing is living. Not thinking, not planning, not being constantly in your storylines, but simply being active. Now, what are the best practices you can try to get out of your head and into your body? Let's get into my first tip. Meditate. You're probably already rolling your eyes at me, but hear me out. If you've never tried meditating before or you gave it a go but didn't enjoy it, maybe you need to give it at least one more try before giving up. Here's the deal with meditating. Many people think that you need to be still, in a quiet place, and endure the torture of sitting in silence. That couldn't be further from the truth. Meditation can be practiced in many ways, and there is no right or wrong way to meditate. One of my favorite meditation practices is deep breathing. For this exercise, you simply need to sit down somewhere where you know you won't be disturbed for 5 to 10 minutes and close your eyes. Then, you take a few deep breaths, breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. The entire technique is super simple. You just need to follow your breath and pay attention to each inhalation and exhalation. Another great meditating technique is noting, which means being aware of the thoughts that are running through your head without judging them or trying to change them. Simply noting. This gives you a zoomed out look into the way your mind works. Funnily enough, sometimes your thoughts even stop for a second or two. The more you notice them, the less power they have over you. And the third meditation technique that I'm going to share with you in this episode is called visualization, which is all about taking yourself to a place that you associate with positive emotions. For example, if you like going to the beach, close your eyes, take a few deep breaths, and imagine yourself lying on the beach. Make the picture in your head as vivid as possible, as if you're really there. Visualization helps a lot with calming down racing thoughts because it gives your mind a break and focuses your entire attention on something that you find pleasurable. Now, some of you may know this already, but I've been meditating daily for years, and I have a few interesting things to share with you when it comes to meditation. So if you're interested in learning more about my 1,000 plus days of daily meditation, check out episode 55 next. I will link it below. My second tip is to practice mindfulness. Now, what does practicing mindfulness have to do with getting out of your head and into your body? It's very simple. When you're in your head, that means you're living in dreamland, which is a place that simply doesn't exist in the present moment. Your sensations, your surroundings, the things you can hear, touch, smell, or feel, are the only things that actually exist. Everything else is just a story in your mind. So, what mindfulness does is it helps you center yourself into the present moment and tune into your body. I will give you just one technique here, because I've already shared my favorite ones in episode 71. It's called the 5-4-3-2-1 technique. Here's what it is and how you can try it out for yourself. Acknowledge 5 things you can see around you, 4 things you can touch, 3 things you can hear, 2 things you can smell, And finally, one thing you can taste. Now, if you're looking for an in-depth book that has a lot more mindfulness practices specifically, my personal favorite is The Mindfulness Code by Donald Altman. I will link it below. My third tip is to do jumping jacks. As a person who often finds themselves too preoccupied with racing thoughts, I have found out the most effective solution for me personally, and that is doing jumping jacks. If you don't know what that is, a jumping jack is a jump done from a standing position with the arms and legs pointing outwards. You can look it up after this episode, it's super simple to do. So if you find yourself overthinking, simply do 10 jumping jacks and you will feel instantly better. I'm not a fan of the so-called magic pills, but this one comes pretty close to being one. Try it out for yourself and let me know in the comments below if it helps you get into your body. My next tip is to dance. That's pretty self-explanatory. I'm just gonna share with you how I use dancing to get into the mood for recording YouTube videos. Every time I'm about to press record, I put on one or two of my favorite songs on Spotify and start singing and dancing. It not only puts me in the mood for filming, but I also stop overthinking about the fact that I'm gonna be talking to a camera for the next 2 hours, and I simply tap into the present moment. Next time you feel anxious and you can't get out of your head, listen to an uplifting song and move your body. Before we get into my next tip, I want to quickly mention that if you're looking for more ways to feel relaxed, at ease, and connected to the real world, my new book 111 Ways to Simplify Your Life would be perfect for you. If you want to learn more, just visit coachsimona.com/book or click the first link in the description. Tip number 5 is to journal. Journaling is a very broad topic, and there are many ways you can journal. But I'm going to share with you 3 of my personal favorite journaling prompts and techniques. The first one is pretty self-explanatory, and that is brain dumping. Whenever you feel overwhelmed with racing thoughts, just take a sheet of paper and write down everything that's on your mind. No filtering, no commas, no grammar checking, just write without censoring yourself. The entire purpose of this exercise is to get out of your head and into your body as quickly as possible. The second journaling technique you can try is writing down 3 things that you're grateful for. Gratitude is one of the most powerful feelings, and it can quickly get you out of your dramatic storylines and back to reality. No matter how bad the situation is, you can always find something to be grateful for. And the last journaling technique that I'm going to share with you is the SIM technique. Here's what you need to do. Write down 1 thing that surprised you today, 1 thing that inspired you, and 1 thing that moved you in some way. Surprised by, inspired by, moved by. SIM. The purpose of this simple journaling prompt is to shift your focus from the thing you've been currently worrying about and help you redirect your focus onto your emotions. By reminding yourself of these 3 things, you will re-experience them and tune into your body. As far as my favorite journaling tool goes, it's definitely the 5-minute journal. Tim Ferriss recommended it to me a few years ago, and I'm so glad that I decided to give it a try. I will link it below if you want to check it out. Thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed this episode, please like it. And subscribe to my channel if you don't want to miss out on my weekly podcast episodes. I love you guys, and I'll talk to you in the next one.